So, you see, I want to hold this rifle up because what it's going to do when the video show up, it's going to show on the video. And so it's going to make everybody want to watch it. You see what I'm saying? And then I'm going to deliver the message of Pope Emmanuel, La Liberación Viva. So anyway, so they say he's brandishing an AK-47 in the video, so that makes him dangerous. You know how many guns those white people have? You know how many rounds of ammunition they have? Do you? Do you have any idea what they're preparing for? And they boast, they say that the Hamite is at war, he's not trained, he's not prepared, he doesn't know how to shoot, he doesn't know how to hit the target. And I remember seeing one of them one time at the shooting range shooting a handgun, and that target was all the way down, maybe 100 and some meters, and that man shot a thing this small. What do you call it again? He grouped it, okay, on the target, a European man. Europeans are preoccupied with killing. They spend 90% of their budget on defense. Who they're defending against, I don't know. Because to me, what they're doing is building an offense. Because they're colonialists, they're imperialists, and they only seek to subjugate the less capable peoples of the world. So, if you think that me showing you an AK-47 makes me a bad person, I accept it. If you think I'm crazy, I accept it. I hope that you'll fear me, knowing that I'm crazy and that I represent the army of Mackandal, who is the leader of our movement. François Mackandal is the one to whom I am answering to. He is the leader of our movement. He is the leader of our army. He is the commander-in-chief. He is the leader of the Hamite awakening and the leader of the revolution. It is François Mackandal that we serve. It is he who has been immortalized. It is he who inspires us to go forward and to finish what he began. We could very easily choose a life of luxury, a life of drugs, a life of sex, a life of alcohol, a life of greed. But we choose instead to balance our life. On the one hand, to achieve financial success. On the one hand, to achieve economic freedom, but yet to look back and to serve and to inspire our people to arrive at the consciousness for liberation. Recently, given the incidents that have occurred, our people have been traumatized. Many of us are now suffering from an acute case of post-traumatic stress disorder. Many have called into His Holiness to seek guidance and counsel. Some have asked, how long will the uprising last and will it fizzle? To which we have had to answer. Others have called and say, Your Holiness. One man in particular called us and he said, I want to get a gun, but if I build a gun, will it not be registered? And I said, you know, what nonsense are you talking about? You're not a hitman. You're not a killer. You have the right under the Constitution to own a gun. Go to Walmart and buy one. Go to Academy and buy one. Go to Cattle Country. Just go to a store and buy a gun. You don't need all this. If you don't know about buying guns, when you get to the store, they'll tell you what the procedure and the policies are. And then why do you want an illegal gun? Why? In the end, when the war starts, it doesn't matter. When the war starts, when the genocide starts, it doesn't really matter. You have to protect your life, you have to protect your family's life, you have to protect your tribe, and the other tribe will be coming to exterminate you. And in some cases, you will acquire their weapons and turn it on them. So you don't need, first of all, I would like to say to people they don't need guns. In the Caribbean, the British system, you have to own land, you have to have property, you have to prove, and then you got to go get training for how many weeks for them to license you, and then they only let you have 50 bullets at a time. How stupid can you be? All of your people should be trained to use firearms, and all of your people should be armed. Well, maybe some of them are too ignorant because once they get in the court, oh, I'm going to go get my gun and shoot you. And they do. They go get their gun and they just shoot the other person. That's how stupid people have gotten. Even here in the United States. These little gangbangers, these people, ignorant Hamites, think once they have a gun and they have a dispute, they just go use a gun. I prefer to use my fist, to be honest. I prefer to use some nunchucks, to use a baton, to use a stick. I mean, a gun is so simplistic, so uncivilized. It's not elegant. And, you know, one time I killed a rabbit. When I felt it, it was so cold. It reminded me of how Mimi's body was when I went to wash her and to bathe her. And it's stiff. And to dress her. I want you to understand. Yes, where you have the right to bear arms, you should exercise that right, because if you don't exercise a right that you have, it will soon be taken from you, including the right to vote and the right to walk freely down the street. That's why our people have rose up. Our people have rose up here, they have rose up there, and they have rose up everywhere. President Donald J. Trump is the best thing that could have happened for the Hamites here, there, and everywhere. Under no other president of the United States, nor at the assassination of Martin Luther King, has the world ever had the reaction it has had to witnessing the way that Hamites are being treated in the United States of America, and to see that man being killed, Mr. Floyd, and that Mr. Floyd's blood became the blood of a martyr, and that his blood then nourished the roots of the tree of the uprising. And many people came and they called, they say, well, do you think this thing is going to go on? And I want to say to you today, and I want to say to you tonight, that the Hamite youth, the Hamite people have been awakened. They have been awakened. So while you may not see as the demonstrations as intense as they were shortly after the incident, there's been a new consciousness in the minds of people. And that's why people are calling and asking, well, how can I get a gun? People who you never think would want guns now. Because they feel if they're jogging down the road, a neighbor might see them. You see, the neighbors have called the police on me so many times that you think I'm a career criminal. And every time the police come, they can't do anything because they realize they're dealing with a superior person. A man that is caught from the ancestors. A man that represents Mackandal. A man that has a presence that you cannot go by him and not notice him. A man that is bold enough to make these messages to send to you. A man that is bold enough to teach you how to operate an AK-47. In our next video, when we get a better view, we'll show you how to take the gun apart. We'll even blindfold ourselves and show you how to take it apart and put it back together. And then how to oil it and clean it after you fire. Then we'll go on maneuvers. We'll show you when we go on training maneuvers, how we shoot the guns. And then we'll have a tutorial on how to build a gun and how to source the materials to do that. It's all legal. We do not do anything legal. And when we challenge our enemies, and when we bring judgment to them, and when we administer judgment to them, it's all going to be legal. You're not going to catch us doing anything illegal so that you can take away our franchise and you can put us in prison and throw away the keys. That will never happen. No matter how much you provoke us, no matter who you take among us, even if you kill me, my own family will not act irrationally. But at a time and a place of their choosing, they will deliver unto you an unimaginable surprise. You yourself will be surprised that we're so sophisticated. So I said to that man, just go and buy a gun. By the time you build the gun, you have no experience doing it. It's your first gun. What the hell? You know, I don't have my handgun with me, but I carry a handgun. It's a daily wear. I carry it to the store. I open carry. I conceal carry. When the police stop me, they say, I see you have a license to carry. Do you have your gun with you? I say, yes, officer, it's right here. Would you like me to show it to you? Oh, would you like to feel it? Maybe he might take it and shoot me, but hey, I am above board. Okay? I am legal. I'm not running from anyone. Okay, stop telling me this stupid nonsense about when they come for me. They're gonna fucking come for you before they come for me. Because they know who I am. They know where I live. They have everything on me. They have my phone number. They track me when I go and when I come. So, you got to be legal. You got to be above board. You got to work with your local police. That's why we support the New York Police Department. As always, God bless you. And I'll be right back. I don't know if I'll be right back. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you don't want to hear from me anymore. Maybe you just want to sit there and get fat and ugly. Maybe you just want to go through menopause without having my friendship. Maybe you want to get old and have prostate cancer without having my friendship. But nonetheless, I still care about you. You can never get the leader, the Pope, the one who God has appointed, the one who must always forgive and must always embrace. When you have a family, when you have offsprings, you must never disown your own family and your own offsprings or your own children, no matter what they do. If they come to you with blood in their hands of someone they just murdered, you must defend them. If they rob somebody, you must defend them. That's the way the Europeans taught us, and that's the way we should be. So with that said, I know you guys care about me because everybody calls. They call to get an opinion. They call to get help. And you see, for going on 8 years now, we've been building this church and this movement. And sometimes I used to sit there and say, I wonder if we're reaching anyone. And what I notice is that when people don't get a video, when people don't get a message, they come asking for it. So we know that we're reaching you. We know we're reaching Desmond Charles, the chief registrar of the OACS. We know we're reaching Bernie Stevenson. We know we're reaching Rayburn Blackmore and Roosevelt Skerritt. Don't matter what you say, you know that when Pope Emmanuel speaks, you listen. You listen. Because there's no other interesting person like Pope Emmanuel, the leader of Ham, self-appointed leader of Ham, leader of the Hamite awakening, leader of the liberating army of François Mackandal. Vive la Mackandal, vive la armée de la libération de la force grand major, et force major, force Mackandal, force la libération de la moun, la Ham. Vive Ham, vive Ham, vive Ham, vive Ham. A revolution immuta. Revolution or death. For freedom we stand.